Hello everyone, my name is Sandhya Shenoy and I am here today at Motherhood with my gynecologist Dr. Madhushri Vijay Kumar, who has also delivered my two beautiful babies. Dr. Madhushri Vijay Kumar is a consultant obstetrician and gynecologist at Motherhood Hospital and has nearly 20 years of experience. She has delivered over 8,000 babies. Her interest lies in high-risk pregnancy, reproductive endocrinology and fertility care with special interest in natural birth and promoting normal vaginal deliveries. She has extensive experience in working in India, Australia and United Kingdom and is involved in teaching and training postgraduate doctors for appearing for the MRCOG examinations. She has several publications to her credit as well. So we are here to talk about sustainable menstruation, menstruation in general, plastic-free menstruation, and we are going to have this as a series. Let's go on to have this communication with Dr. Madhushri.
Thank you, Sandhya, for the introduction. I'm Dr. Madhushri Vijay Kumar, consultant obstetrician and gynecologist at Motherhood Hospitals, Hebbal.
So what would you say to these parents who are already telling their children that I have, spared you of using cloth. I bought you a sanitary napkin which probably cost me 80 or 100 rupees a pack, which will last you maybe 2 cycles. Now you're insisting I pay something more and buy you something because you want to grow a plant. Now all this is hype and there is no big deal about it. This has gone on for years together and we can manage for some more years with this. Don't expect me to buy you something expensive. Now the onus lies upon the child to educate the parent.
Very true, very true.
How do you think we should tackle this?
No, I think it's absolutely fine. So it's not always just because you're older and you would want to tell your child the right way to live. I think it's now the responsibility of the child to tell the parent this is how the right way to live, because I think the child is able to understand the consequences of her generation and her next generation. We are having a blind eye towards it. I think the education, that's why we thought this discussion today, basically it's 3-generation education. The child is already probably is much more well educated about the menstrual hygiene and how to look after Mother Earth more than the mothers and the grandmothers. Yes. I think this should be a family education where you are actually trying to tell, please don't be selfish. Allow me to have a good health and allow my next generations also to have a better health. So if you are making that first attempt of actually growing a plant with your so-called menstrual waste, you're actually helping the environment to get back to what it was.
So that's the first step.
That's the first step. So if the child is trying to tell something, please keep your eyes and ears open. The child is not just telling something out of her this thing. But yes, it is a time consuming event. Yes, so for some it may be a little expensive than a regular sanitary napkin, but you don't have that, the small vision. Have a wider vision of what it can do for your next generations.
So should the onus be on the teenager or the child to pressurize the parents to look at it in this way, and then only you can win the war?
I think no harm, because I think so as mothers we are so involved with our own work, we are actually unaware of what's happening in our surrounding. But the child is going through that process, is able to discuss with her peers, is probably doing more research on what is the right way of how you segregate your waste, where you do, what is the right way, which sustainable product to use. I think much more than our generation. I think we should probably let go of our favorite sanitary napkins and allow the new eco-friendly products to come in, so that we could probably use in a better way and also help our environment to be better.
My favorite takeaway from this conversation was the fact that your teenager daughter is coming and telling you to change the way you look at things.
Yes.
And it also just made me realize that when we are students, our life is just play, home and our friends. And when you get into that menstrual cycle phase where you have to look forward to something appearing, coming forward to you every month, that's another big important issue that kids deal with.
Yes.
And as you rightly said, onus lies upon the teenagers as well as their parents to look forward to that change. So if not the conventional sanitary napkins, you have an option of eco-friendly napkins, and if we keep both of them aside, the first go-to thing for rural and urban areas is cloth pads.
Correct.
Now you have The regular old cloth pads where you used a sari cloth or an old dupatta and made multiple layers of it to handle heavy bleeding. We have something called as organic cotton pads of late, and you have another type of cotton pads which come with an insert and you have
Correct.
buttons. Can you just shed some light on this product?
Okay. Regarding the menstrual cloth, I would probably again go back to the discussion what we had of how our grandmother would use that and keep it in the dark rooms. So the same menstrual cloth can be used in a eco-friendly way, but in a right manner. I mean right manner is how you wash, where you dry, and where you store it for your next cycle. That plays a very important role to reduce your infections, because that's always been a concern in the past, that the entire discussions of using a sanitary napkin cost effective way in rural areas came because the menstrual cloth which was not used properly had caused a lot of physical problems or the medical problems to a woman. So that was that was the reason there was a transition. Now the transition is going back to the eco-friendly menstrual cloth, basically because those were the old clothes, old used clothes which were torn and things like that, which was of not of any benefit, were used during your periods, and then they were washed and kept it in the dark room. So but the modification now is that you use a designated clean menstrual cloth. You want to keep it as a dark cloth and not a white cloth, because yes, the stains can remain, and you can use it in a way that it can be stored in a proper place. You know where to pick up once it is sun dried and things like that. The important thing is to soak for 15 to 20 minutes before you actually wash it. You can use your normal soap, that should be fine. You can add on some Savlon or Dettol to make it even more clean and sterile, and then you dry it, you soak it, you rinse it nicely, and you sun dry it. Very important is the sun dry. It has to be in the open during summer season. During winter, yes, of course you have to make sure it is dry for some time, absolutely no smell before you actually put it in your cupboard for the next cycle. So if you are able to manage, I think the menstrual cloth is the best.
But considering that we have come a long way from 1990s, from cloth to pads, to tell people go back to cloth is a very big thing.
Yes.
Now,
So
how do we handle, say, staining or itchiness?
Correct.
I understand you say that washing it properly and sun drying it will reduce that. But who wants to sun dry in the open now?
That is what I'm saying. So if the woman is able to educate respective men folk in the family and then tell, this is my area, I am going to sun dry it, you like it or not, that is your problem, but this is what is important for my health. The other thing is the itching and the infection and the smell happens because you are not allowed it to sun dry. Okay. You have not washed it properly. So the smell comes, see, the menstrual blood, which is something, has got a bloody smell, that's got a specific odor. If it is impungent, if the smell is more of a pungent odor, that means there's some bacterial infection going on. You should recognize it and discard it and use another cloth. So if you allow that rough area of your cloth which you have not washed it properly, will lead to itchiness. If you allow that soggy smell continuing there, wettish a bit, and then you are using it, you are going to get infections there. If you are making sure it is completely sun dry, I think the cloth is very ideal.
Now, are you talking about having you're talking about a designated cloth?
Designated cloth, not the old cloth torn and you cut and then you use it.
Okay.
No.
And what about your concept about having these clip ones
Correct.
that are available now in the market? Same thing being sold for a higher price point. You have inserts, microfiber inserts, which are
Correct.
being used.
Correct.
What do you think about that?
I was talking about the menstrual cloth where other things are not available. Rather than conventional sanitary napkins, the plastic ones, I was talking about the cloth.
Okay.
Now online, there are online and plus lot of NGOs are coming up who are more eco-friendly. They are working towards the environment, are coming up of their own indigenous fabric, like the period panties, or period undies, however you want to call, where you have to use only during your time of menstruation. So they have got an outer layer of that panties which is not absorbable. That means to say it won't stay in your outer cloth. You can easily do things with that.
Okay.
And then you wash it and then you use it. So you can have 2 to 3 per day usage and then discard it and keep it nicely washed, get ready for the next cycle. The period, that was the period panties. The period cloth is the one what I was talking to you about, comes with a price which is readily available. So that has got a small pouch and a small wing
Clip
like
button,
thing
yes.
with a button where it goes around your panties and then you clip it. Whenever it has to be taken out, you take it out and wash it. So it comes in lot of, it is a non-fragrant, which I have to tell, because our conventional sanitary napkin, in order to reduce the odor of the blood, they put lot of fragrance, which itself will contain lot of carcinogens or the dioxins, what we call post when we degrade it, that itself can cause cancer, which is not there with the menstrual cloth and the menstrual panties and the menstrual pads. So all these eco-friendly one does not contain those substances. So there is no fragrance there. It all depends on how you wash. You wash it thoroughly, you keep it in a safe place, and that comes with a pouch where you can use it as a next cycle, and it can be on your table, it can be on your cupboard. It need not have that look of that it being a menstrual pad or a cloth. So it all depends on how you wash it, how you manage, how you dry, and how you store.